What's going on, Pisces? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Pisces. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, we're just getting groovy there, Pisces. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Pisces. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that are like watching Pisces, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd really enjoy them. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, and look at this, your opposite sign showing up here. Because you got the 7th card of Virgos, which is the fine print card. And with this card, this is a card of detail, look closer, inspection, research, be careful, in depth, pay attention, don't assume, thorough, deep dive, hidden, information, double check, and read between the lines. And the energy that's coming through here, Pisces, is to be careful. And so I'm going to talk about it more energetically here in a second, but because there's something else I'm thinking about. But just in general, Pisces, just make sure that we're just being just kind of mindful, just as far as going about your day-to-day routines. So that's one thing that Virgo deals with, like your routines, your jobs, your health, things along those lines. And this isn't medical advice or anything, but I feel like we just want to make sure that we are just being careful, being mindful of anything. Just you know what I mean, Pisces, just in general. But I more so am outside of just kind of the day-to-day sort of stuff there, Pisces, like looking both ways for crossing the street, or just if you, I don't know, some getting skateboarding even for some reason, Pisces, so if you, or any sort of sports or things. But if you notice you're accident prone. But on a more kind of on a more sort of because you are a very psychic sign, Pisces. You really connect with others on a really kind of deep kind of level there. And I feel like you want to be just really kind of trust your intuition and just be mindful of the energies that are around you, just because you are so susceptible. And it's not to say that that you're gullible or anything along those lines, but just being mindful of just people's intentions and the situations that you kind of find yourself in, possibly, if your intuition is telling you that, because you are a very powerful intuitive, Pisces. And if something just doesn't feel right and just doesn't, we want to be careful with that, just because you are a sign, you're dual ruled by Jupiter and by Neptune. And Neptune is where things get a little kind of hazy, because Neptune doesn't, one of the aspects of Neptune is she doesn't have any boundaries, and it can be, sometimes I feel that with how loving your sign can be and how empathetic and how compassionate you can be, there are some, I do, whether it's intentional or not, that some people may take advantage of your energy. So I just feel like it's just using some, just some discernment, when it comes about going about things. Just because too, I'm thinking as well, your one ruler, Neptune, is already retrograde, but Jupiter is going to be going retrograde here in a few days. We got about 5 days or so when Jupiter goes retrograde on the 4th. So you're in a very kind of reflective period. We're in, the soul tribe. The energies have been rather rather tough, I've noticed the last couple of weeks. So just something to be just kind of mindful there, Pisces. And, just and I always like to kind of mention too, with you being associated with the 12th house, we want to be mindful of any sort of like escapisms and things along those lines. Because I feel where it's not to say that you can't go out and have a drink, Pisces, or anything along those lines, but you are more susceptible to getting lost in that's kind of spiritual side of Neptune energy. I have a few placements in the 12th house, and it gets tricky sometimes. Whether it's 12th house, Pisces placements, just something to be mindful of. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Let's see what we're looking out for. Oh, interesting. And you do kind of share a lot with Cancer, too. You got the Chariot here. We're gonna talk a little about that. Thank you. Alright, Pisces, let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Okay. So, Pisces, you have a small little reversal storm here. But you have the Nine of Wands upright, and then you have the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Coins, the Lovers, and then the Chariot in reverse here. And let's talk about the Seven of Cups, because this is kind of what I was talking about more so as far as like that being susceptible to like, more so like drugs and alcohol and things along those lines, any sort of like altering substances, because Seven of Cups is like a prelude to a devil moment for me. And, we just want to be mindful of, again, just escapisms in general. Because sometimes I feel like there's, and, even just more so, a little broader than that. Just because escapisms are just even more than just like again, see, like you're just like drugs and alcohol. This could be in sex. This could be in any sort of things to check out from the reality that is going on here, because I do feel like too sometimes maybe your sign does feel to such a degree with the very similar to Cancer. My sun sign's in Cancer, and I feel that it's one of those things where sometimes even like the harsh realities of the world can be maybe even a little tense for some of you, and you just don't want to deal with that. It's just like, how can all these hardships kind of go through here? But I feel like with the Lovers being here, this is a card of like choices that we make. And I feel like that is like, for some, it's like being aware of going against choices that deep down in your gut, don't resonate with you, where it feels like it's not getting you anywhere and it's like keeping you stuck. But I also feel like with the Lovers, for me, this is kind of like, when the Lovers just pop up, it's kind of like your higher self just sort of like checking in and, just kind of reminding you, just like, hey, Pisces, what's good? But when the Lovers is in reverse, it's just like, hey, Pisces, are we really sure we're looking for a lesson in this aspect, or do we really want to go down this road here? Because then that like it saps away from your resources, whatever, because the coins, they deal with more than this could be where it's might be affecting your finances as well. But if this is like maybe like a gambling thing, but it can affect your health and also your manifestation and things. But any sort of things that you find yourself overindulging in, I feel like we want to be mindful again about getting kind of lost in that. But I'm also kind of getting with the Seven of Cups that maybe for some there we do have maybe some decisions, maybe as far as like, I'm almost thinking like maybe if this is like a business transaction, or maybe this is like maybe we're going into like or even like some sort of like contract or anything along those lines. I feel we want to make sure that we're being mindful of like the fine print of things, because it's like I'm almost and that's interesting, because I'm almost kind of getting with the Queen of Coins that there's like, I'm almost getting like a swindler type of vibe, which is very interesting. I feel like that's coming through. So again, just use some before maybe we make decisions as far as like maybe like maybe jobs, reading the fine print, or just anything that where I don't know, it's like it's like a considering your options when it kind of comes to things here. But I think I'm going to get a little bit more with this Nine of Wands here, Pisces. Let me see what's going on there. because I almost kind of feel, because it almost kind of feels like that there's this energy of, it's almost like we may be trying to rush something along or something along those lines, or maybe we've been kind of going through it for a while. I'm not, let me get a little bit more on that. Thank you. Interesting, Pisces. Okay, so you have the nine of wands is clarified by the Four of Cups in reverse, and then you have the Ten of Swords and then the Judgment card upright here. And I feel like it's like with this Nine of Wands here, it's being mindful of like kind of where you're really kind of channeling your energy, because there could be something here where you might, I don't know, where it's like, I don't want to say necessarily that we'll regret it, but it's just like that we might be doing something that is just going against our, I don't know, like it's like, it's almost like with this Ten of Wands, it's almost like, you know, if we're rushing through some things or something along those lines, that it's like someone's trying to force something to this close here, trying to force, I don't know, it's like, it's, pay attention to that type of stuff there, Pisces. Like, I'm not sure if we're in some sort of like, you know, getting involved in some sort of like, you know, interesting characters, or, you know, kind of shady characters, or maybe this could even be like in any sort of like relationships that we might be getting into, whether this is friends or in love or otherwise here. But, you know, it's kind of like with the Chariot, like I'm getting like a just like sort of like maybe something is, it's like maybe you care about something, Pisces, but with the Four of Cups here, I feel like that it's just making sure that that energy is being returned, you know, that there's, because the Four of Cups can almost be like a card of like apathy, or it's a card of apathy and like not really, because I'm even kind of getting with this energy here, because the Four of Cups, this is the moon in Cancer. And the moon in Cancer is where it is a very beautiful placement, a strong placement for the moon, since the moon rules over Cancer. I do feel like that is an energy that can be prone to, you know, depression sometimes. And I feel like that if we're, because maybe even for some, it's like that we're in this decision of, maybe we've even gotten to this place of distrust, maybe, or something along those lines, or that we're getting to this place where we kind of like shut ourselves down, or a lot coming through here, Pisces. But all right, something to, I think I'm going to move on from that, Pisces, but something to think about there. Let's get another card on the mix. You know what, last thing with the Four of Cups, though, like, it's, I'm getting something, it's like, you know, maybe that there might be this energy of, that maybe even more so for some, like if this is in some sort of like relationship thing, maybe that like it might be something where maybe someone doesn't care for you maybe as much as you do for them. So just make sure that there's like that balance there, that reciprocity. And all right, Pisces, but yeah, let's move on. Ooh, all right, a little more Virgo energy. Okay, so you got the eighth card of Virgos here, which is the Grapes card. And with this card, this is a card of abundance, bearing fruit, harvest, fertility, merriment, prosperity, surplus, fullness, juicy, overindulge, tempting, goodness, plentiful, wealth, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And the energy that's coming through here, Pisces, is the tempting. And this came through for, I want to say, like, that's been kind of popping up a little bit on this abundance card. And I feel that there's something here that, you know, maybe there are, I don't know, it's like if there's different offers that are coming through that may seem tempting on paper or maybe seem tempting in the moment. But it's just like, I'm almost kind of getting with like the Judgment card. You see how Wukong's kind of looking at this Lotus here. It's just like it almost feels like for some, it's like maybe it seems like there's this energy of balance here that there's gonna be like I don't know. It's like something doesn't. I just feel we want to be mindful of any sort of like impulsive decisions, Pisces. That before like something may seem kind of shiny and new on paper or something, or like maybe in person, but I feel like we want to maybe kind of take things slow when it comes to this. Maybe get like a second opinion. Because the lovers, this is Gemini energy, and it might be if this is like out of your realm. Let's say if this is something with like finances, for example. Maybe you're getting offered like Pisces, get in on this deal, and then we can do this thing, and it's just like I don't know. It's like something's coming out of like, it's like something is it's just if it feels too good to be true, it's not to say that it couldn't be, but I feel like that there is this energy of there's this level of discernment that I feel like is being needed, or that is trying to get your attention here. And we just want to be, I just feel like we just want to be safe, not even just on like a physical level here, Pisces. This could even affect you on a mental level or even like a spiritual level, like you're never sure how this stuff can kind of manifest. And again, I feel like you're with your sign. And Pisces, because the thing that since you are kind of racking up this Virgo energy with your oracle cards, Virgo is your opposite sign on the zodiac wheel, and I feel like maybe for some it's just like there's a like it's I feel like where you are a very spiritual sign, the thing that we can learn a lot from our opposite signs. And I feel like that what is happening here is just like maybe we need to pay attention more so to kind of like the or how we're dealing operating in this sort of like in this realm here, in this 3D realm, because we're spiritual beings going through this human experience. And you're taking that spirituality that you have, because you're your sign of duality, just like Gemini, and you have that to be able to access both that spirit. Gemini's is a little bit different than how you are, but you have that duality of being able to go tap into the spiritual realm and bring it to the material. But it's just like being able to keep that stuff grounded and staying present in that as well. And it may not always be fun, but I feel like that is going to keep us from getting into trouble or something along those lines. Because maybe for some, let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Because even with this Ten of Swords, maybe if this is not someone maybe like looking to betray us, and it's not, it can vary this degree, but I almost feel like that this could be even us be kind of like betraying ourselves, Pisces. But thank you. Let me see what's going on here, Pisces. All right, Pisces. Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit, because my girl's here, and when she's in reverse, we got some things to talk about, because we got the Hanged Man and the Five of Cups up right here, and then we have the Seven of Coins and the Empress in reverse. And I feel like with this, and here's one of your rulers, the Hanged Man, Neptune. But with the Seven of Coins being in reverse, being mindful of what you're investing in, and where we've been kind of putting our energies into here as of late. Because I don't know, it's like there's something here, so I don't know if I don't know if we've been tempted, because this might be just like, I don't know, it's like maybe you just don't want to deal. And we can maybe, let me kind of bring that down a little bit, because maybe this is something where it's just like maybe it's like day-to-day stuff, like it's like we're being tempted by like just like distractions and things. Maybe this could be like maybe like video games, or it could even be like, I don't know. I had a big thing where I was just like, it was between like video games and like comic books. Those were like amongst some other things, but that kind of kept me distracted from like the day to day type of stuff here. And I feel with the Hanged Man being here, there's a need to kind of see things maybe from a newer perspective here. It's like, because I feel like it's going to lead to this place of either, I don't know, it's like I feel like we may disappoint ourselves more so in the long run here, Pisces. And I feel like that may be even a little bit worse than other people disappointing us, because it's just like you can't really, sometimes it kind of be hard to kind of predict people. But I feel like we know ourselves, or at least, like as we're on this journey, we get to know ourselves. And I feel like that whatever this is, Pisces, this could affect your, not take away from your abundance, but it can affect, I don't know, it can affect your stability, because the Empress is a very abundant figure. And I feel like there's a need to make sure to just take care of yourself in these decisions that you're making here. I might get a little bit more on this Hanged Man. Because a Hanged Man can also be a card of sacrifice. And I feel like that there's something here, it's just like, is, whatever this may be, like, vices or these decisions that we make, it's like, is it really worth the sacrifice? Is it really worth the energy that we're putting into? Is this really something that resonates? Is this really kind of like, like Empress behavior? And then listen, Pisces, you're in a judgment-free zone here, but these are questions that we do and need to ask ourselves, because it is part of the growing process. Like, we can, and the thing is, you do have free will. And so say we can choose to stay stagnant, but it's just like, is that really what we want in the end? It's because sometimes we can almost get into that loop of where it's just like life isn't doing how we want to, so we stay checked out, and you get kind of caught in this almost like this like catch-22, or like, kind of caught between this like rock and a hard place here. Like, I'm almost getting like kind of like Eight of Swords vibes, where it's just like we kind of build this self-imposed type of prison here. Or, but let me get a little bit more with the Hanged Man. And even just thinking so too, just like even thinking on a vibratory level, it's just like, is this really like, because this Venus, and with the relationship between Venus and Neptune, Neptune is a higher octave of Venus, and it's just like, are we working towards that? Thank you. Interesting. So the Hanged Man is clarified by the Five of Coins in reverse, and then you have the Sun here, upright. And with the Sun, the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. It brings, but I feel like in order to get to that happiness, there's this clarity that needs to be, we need to see things in a, I don't know, like, I feel like if you just, I don't know, if things have been not going your way, or if you've been feeling that there's this energy of, for some, I'm getting like a longing for like a change. For some others, it's just like it's like there's this energy of lack, or trying to change our circumstances, that things have gotten, maybe might be something that has gotten out of hand, and we haven't even quite even seen it clearly here. But the fact that the Sun is here, I feel like does, it can brighten up some things, but maybe this could be where maybe some friends have maybe noticed like there's been a shift in your behavior, or maybe it's just like, I don't know, it's like when you I'm even kind of getting, for some, it almost feels like that we're trying to chase the sunlight in a way. It's like we're trying to, and it's not to say that you're unhappy, Pisces, but it's just like that I feel like there's this needing, there's this just like, I don't know, it's like there's this energy of just like, is this all? Like, just something to think about, Pisces. All right, let's get some tea. Whew, and let's get your last card here. Thank you. All right, Pisces. Last card here. You got the 7th card of Sagittarius, which is the White Rabbit card. And you two share a ruler. You two share Jupiter as a ruler. And with this White Rabbit, this is a card of Spark of Curiosity, Gnosis, Spiritual Awakening, It's Time, Heeding the Call, Research It, Inner Knowing, Dark to Light, Going Down the Rabbit Hole, and Waking from a Dream. So a couple energies are coming through here, Pisces. There's the inner knowing and then the dark to light that's coming through here. And I was thinking about that with that relationship kind of with, or just thinking about just more on a planetary aspect, you know. Pluto, the judgment card here, is the furthest planet away from the sun. And I feel like that there's this energy of, because the judgment card in Pluto, that's about that extreme type of change. You know, there's this, in the sense, this death that's happening, this death of an old self to come into, to be reborn, you know. I feel like, and it's like there is this inner knowing that I feel like that's trying to happen here. But I feel like in order to, because I feel like for some it's just like maybe there's been this energy, like, because maybe it's like we're aware of these temptations or these things, but it just like, it seems to, I don't know, it's like you still get sort of like, we make a little progress, it's like, you know, two steps forward and then 4 steps back or something along those lines. But I feel that there's a need to, I don't know, there's like, is something that's needing to be, some dark that's needing to be, like that shadow work that can be done with the Chariot, that's needing to be done in order for us to get through this light, you know. But it's just like, maybe this is something, because that's hard, you know, doing that type of healing work, and you know, when dealing with those old wounds, and dealing with these like ways that we need to grow and, you know, and heal and stuff. But it's a necessary thing in order for us again to reach that higher vibration, to develop that inner knowing, and to embody that Empress. Because a fun little fact about your about Venus too, Pisces, is that, you know, Venus is exalted in your side. So I mean, the Empress, you know, outside, the Empress loves everybody, but she's got a special little love for you, Pisces, too. Like, you know, like on side of Taurus and Libra, you know. And I feel that that's always lovely to be having a good, just being good with the Empress. But I do feel like that there's something here about, it's like we're learning of something about ourselves, or, but in order to get that, there's going to be this trial period that's kind of happening here, I feel like, with the judgment. And really, the sun is before the judgment, but I feel like that in order, it's like realizing that there could be more happiness here, that we could be in a higher vibration. That's what leads to that realization with the judgment, that action. And then we can kind of close out there with Saturn, the world, and then get started again with the Fool energy, and then start on this new journey, get that Chariot moving again, you know, really connect with higher self and things along those lines. And I feel like that is really important for all of us, to really be connected to our, and however you connect to Source, Pisces, whether it be through spirit guides or the angels, ancestors, however that manifests. But there is that connection that is needed, I feel like, in order to really kind of navigate this realm, you know, intuitively, like you do. But because that's what Virgo can, you know, they're you know, be on the opposite end. That's their challenge. You know, they're really good in the day-to-day routines, but it's just like, you know, there's not that quite, there's that need to strengthen that bond with higher self, you know. Like, it's interesting, Pisces. But let's get tarot on this. All right, last little bit here, Pisces. Ooh. Interesting. All right, Pisces. So you have the Ace of Wands, the King of Coins, the King of Swords in reverse, and then you have the Five of Wands upright here. And let's switch back over. Because I kind of feel like with this, Pisces, with the Ace of Wands being here, it feels like that. Again, before we take some sort of action, we feel like we need to think about, is this really going to be conducive to our growth here? Is this something that's going to keep us stable, or is this something that's going to create more conflict here? And I like, because there's always going to be challenges. I feel like, with the Five of Wands being here, but I feel like this is one where it's like where we might be creating more difficulties for ourselves than we need to. You know what I mean? And I mean, it might be part of the journey. It could be part of that. But I feel like that the sooner that we get that inner knowing, and then we're able to start putting in that work, really start doing that shadow work. And again, as it makes sense, this is not saying, I'm not trying to force this on you right now, like, go heal, Pisces. No, this, like, as it makes sense, because again, that type of stuff, when we get into, like, maybe kind of past traumas and things along those lines, even like the sun can deal with, like, it's, kind of childlike energy. It involves, like, the fifth house and things. And, it's interesting here, Pisces, what's going down. And I feel like that there's something where I don't know, it's like with the King of Swords, it's like there's something here that we just need to learn more about ourselves. And like, and I also kind of feel too, though, like, more so with, like, if we're being tempted with, like, different sort of offers and things along those lines, if there's something that we're not, like, knowledgeable in, or if we're not, not sure about, whether this be like business opportunities, or maybe even like, I don't know, like, because, I feel like there are some times, where we get into, like, experimenting, like, I'm just thinking more so on the, like, the temptation side of it, that Neptune, because Neptune energy can deal with, like, that, the drugs and things and alcohol and stuff like that. So it's like, like, I don't know, it's like, if it's something we're not sure how we're gonna react, or how this, like, I don't know, like, there's a need to really kind of learn more about this, and really be kind of mindful with what's with the decisions that we're making. But the Five of Wands too also can be like a card of brainstorming. So it's like, when you have these realizations that, like, that something's off, that, like, this is not where this, if things have been not been feeling stable as of late, Pisces. It's just like, in whatever, however this might be manifesting, it's just like, as soon as you realize that, it's just like, what can we do to get this thing back on track? Because we're conflicts, like, it's always kind of tough dealing with challenges and things, but they get us motivated for us to take different, to work towards that sunlight. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Pisces. And I hope that made sense. That was kind of a lot going on there, but if anything resonated with you, and this has been kind of weird to kind of say this, and I feel like I've kind of been saying this all the time now, but because the readings have been a little bit tougher here as of late, but if something resonated with you, kind of give it a thumbs up. Or, yes, I love the support and things along those lines, but it's more so just to know that this is something that we all kind of think about. We all have things that we're tempted by, or things that we could, just, we all have to go through, like, learn about ourselves, and go do that, like, journey into the dark in order to get to that light. And here's the thing too, Pisces, and I'm about to get into reading just, like, a little bit, because, like, with the dark aspects of ourselves, where, yes, it can be tough showing our, like, and be really compassionate with yourself while you're going through this, Pisces, because I feel that when you've learned to kind of understand those darker sides of you, and to be able to treat them with the same compassion that you would, the more fun, the more likable sides of yourself, they can really become these sort of really kind of strong ambassadors for change. And it really does just changes the journey up in a really kind of neat way. But and share this, Pisces, if you know someone who's been, I don't know, just been making maybe, because it almost feels even like a little reckless, maybe some, just if you notice something off with your, kind of Piscean friends or something along those lines, or anyone, you happen to know someone with Pisces in their chart. But Whew. And then if you haven't already there, Empress, subscribe. Let's shift the gears a little bit. Let's subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit, look at you, Pisces, getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel. Not that you need it. But if you have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos daily there, Monday through Friday. We discuss lunar shenanigans. I always love giving you a little flack, when the moon pops up your card. It's a good old time, Pisces. And Pisces, there's a full supermoon in your sign. It actually just happened the other day in your sign, depending on when you're watching this. But it still should be kind of full in your sign for a little bit. Like, you got another good little day on that before it moves into Aries on the 1st. But kind of sit, maybe sit with the moon and just kind of reflect on some things, Pisces. But all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. I love when higher self does that, so I can get you out of here, Pisces. Because here you are, lunar shenanigans. So I guess you wanted me to give you a little crap, huh, Pisces? But really, Pisces. The moon upright is a card of illusions, and it's a card of also journeying to the unknown. Dealing that shadow work. But the nice thing that after the moon is the sun. And then it's just like you realize that you do have this level, because I love that you pop up for yourself in a very strong way here at the end. You might even surprise yourself, Pisces, with what you can. If we've been feeling kind of stuck in a thing or something along those lines. But yeah, just be mindful of kind of any sort of trickery or deceptions or anything along those lines there, Pisces. Okay, but let me get your oracle card here, so I can get you out of here, get you reflecting under the moon there, that moon in Pisces. I love that. Thank you. Alright, Pisces. So you got the Aligned card in reverse here. So and that's kind of really, something doesn't feel right. Something feels out of alignment, and I feel like it's really kind of trust your intuition, and really be mindful of if these choices don't align with you, and just like, I don't know, it's very, very interesting, Pisces. But yeah, for some, I feel like it's being mindful of just like the decisions that you make, and we just want to be careful with that. But because I do feel like that it does throw you out of whack, Pisces. And I feel like, when the fish are just, when they're not sure, because I feel like, when you're in a groove, it's beautiful, Pisces. But when the fish are erratic and not sure what's going down, what's up, getting lost in that ocean it's tricky, and it's deep, and it can be a tough road to get back to the surface and to find that sunlight again. So alright, Pisces, but I think I'm gonna leave that there. So especially considering how you started out there, Pisces, I mean always, but you be safe out there, okay? You raise your vibration through the roof. Empress in reverse. Do some self-care. Do some things for you. Just kind of check in. Maybe have some alone time, And I don't know, just kind of be with yourself for a little while. Just kind of reflect, especially if your decisions haven't been lining up with what you really want in your life. And I will catch you, because I will catch you on the next one. Later.